Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Squeezilla here and I hope you're all well, and you join me today in some Naval. Now, I want to explain why, well, why there's so few players in Naval first of all, but also one of the big problems of Naval, and that's simply because it's not fun. It's very broken. You see, I've just spawned into the game and I'm already getting pounded by enemy destroyers. Meanwhile, I'm unable to land a hit. The RNG is really wonky. Now, this crew is fully trained, so my range finding's fully trained. Got the target set in, and guns just keep missing. And yeah, that's kind of how naval combat works. You know, in real life, you know, is you do sometimes have poor positioning, but the problem is this is meant to be a game and it's meant to actually be somewhat fun and somewhat balanced, and there isn't any balance. Now, I'm already pretty much dead right now. Now, our team is going to lose this round because, for one, there's only one destroyer on it, whereas the enemy has, I think the enemy had around about 4 or 5 destroyers in their lineup. And if you look at the team, it's not a very big team. They've got a Colwell, a Type 1924 currently in the game, and meanwhile we've just got the one destroyer. Now we're getting a few hits on target, but we're pretty much gone at this stage. Our ship is going down, and this is the biggest problem in Naval. Now this is realistic battle Naval, not arcade, because arcade is different. Arcade is actually somewhat a little bit more fun sometimes, but you still have the same issue of just random numbers, just the RNG just not falling in your favour, and it really ruins the game for you, because there's nothing you can do in this sort of situation. Being that I've got 2 destroyers shooting at me and I'm the only one shooting at them, we can't lay down enough damage to really cause a difference. You can't really aim for weak spots either at this kind of range, because they generally don't hit. Again, the RNG. Because you could say go for the shots on the ammo racks, but the ammo racks may not explode. And it's very hard to get that shot, you know, at 4 or 5 kilometers. And we are dead. So, that's our gameplay. That's our game. That's it. Now, we do have 2 other boats to jump in, so we can jump into another destroyer. Now they've got 3 destroyers up now, and well, we only have 1. Now we need to try and get a destroyer into this sort of area to try and basically fend off some of the torpedo boats. Now they do have a couple of torpedo boats, but again, slightly different balanced torpedo boats. They have better boats than us, and that's one of the biggest problems. Now again, we are firing straight away at the enemy, and they're firing straight at us as we spawn in. Now, there are the cruiser spawns back here that we could possibly go to, but again, we're not really going to be much use back there. We could try and run to this area to try and get cover, but we can't, because we're not going to get there in time. This map generally tends to fall this way because the enemy destroyers over there have much more chance of getting into cover than this side of the map does. So while this side of the map can't get any cover and just gets destroyed, the other side is generally fine. And this is the biggest problem in this Naval. It's just so wonky. Like, there's no real balance, and you can't really balance it because, well, ships are very unbalanced things. You know, it's kind of ridiculous how strong torpedo boats are as well, while we're talking here, because, you know, we're firing 120 odd millimeter guns with HE shells. These are very big HE shells into a small torpedo boat and just doing no damage whatsoever. But just on the destroyers again, you can sort of see here we're firing at them again. We're getting some hits on target, but because we only have HE, we can't do much, and we're already dead. We died without barely doing anything. There's not much we could do in this situation. Now we've got one more destroyer to jump into, and I imagine you can guess the outcome here. And this is really the problem that Naval has got, is it's just not... There's no balance, but it's not fun. You know, it's nearly impossible to grind for boats because, well, this is the situation you're stuck in most of the time. And it really is just this incredibly unbalanced gameplay that doesn't work. You know, they need to have sort of maybe an island that you spawn behind. You know, make it so there is actually some cover for the destroyers when they come in, because at the moment, you know, as soon as you spawn in, you can fire at each other, and that makes no sense. Now, the other option is to basically have fog. Now, they've had games where fog is a thing, and that changes the gameplay. Give us an artificial view distance, make it foggy, make it so we can only see around 2 kilometers. That would make it a lot better. It would basically balance it up, and you wouldn't get situations like this. As you can see, we are already dead. That was, what, about a minute of gameplay we had there? And that's it. That's all the gameplay you can get. And yeah, that's basically War Thunder naval ships at the moment. There's no fun to be had, really. It's not a fun game mode to play. And the main reason for that is because of the maps. The maps are so poorly designed. The game mode is so poorly designed. There are just so many problems. And the devs just don't listen to us. Now they're putting their focus onto their new toys, which is helicopters. So Navy's going to get swept under the rug a little bit and sort of forgotten about for some time, I imagine. Even though they've got other dev teams on it, of course. But the thing is, it just feels very much like, oh, well, we're not going to fix these problems. We're just going to make new problems of adding new vehicles. It seems to be the way they've been dealing with problems for the last couple of years. Is, you know, as soon as there's problems arising, oh, we just add more vehicles, people forget about the problems, and then the problems just disappear magically. And we really need to stop them from doing this. We need to really tell them they can't do this. They need to actually fix things. And this game mode is broken. The ABC capping thing is broken in Navy. It doesn't work. The spawns are broken. They do not work. The positioning of ships, the team layout is broken. The matchmaker is broken. So many things are broken, yet they don't get any attention. Okay, guys, well, bit of a downer today. I'm sorry about that, but I just needed to basically say what was happening in Naval and let people know what was actually occurring. You know, like, there's about 10 people playing Naval at the moment. In total, that's it. So that gives you an idea of how little game base there is. The way they've done the beta testing again is just ridiculous because they don't listen to the testers. The testers are just glorified number gatherers. That's all we're doing, because they're not listening to any of our feedback. Alright, well, until next time, this is me, Screwzilla, out. Bye-bye. Does. This guy's coming in for a head-on. Don't want any of that. Oh! Oh, that was beautiful! Holy crap, that was hilarious.